Buzzy, the bee, had always been fascinated by the circus. He loved the colorful tents, the exciting performances, and the sweet treats that were always available. So, when he heard that a circus was coming to town, he couldn't wait to go and see it for himself. On the day of the circus, Buzzy woke up bright and early, buzzing with excitement. He flew over to the circus grounds, which were located on the edge of town. As he approached, he saw that the tent was already set up, and a crowd of people had gathered around the entrance. Buzzy flew over to the ticket booth and purchased a ticket. He was a little disappointed to see that he had to sit in the back row, but he was still excited to see the show. He flew up to the top of the tent and took a seat on a beam, where he had a great view of the entire circus. The circus began with a grand entrance from the ringmaster. He was a tall, thin man with a top hat and a whip, and he introduced each act with a flourish. First, there were acrobats flipping and tumbling through the air. Then, there was a juggler who kept a dozen balls in the air at once. There was also a tightrope walker, who balanced on a thin wire high above the ground. Buzzy was having a great time watching the show, but he couldn't help feeling a little envious of the performers. He wished he could be up on stage, showing off his own tricks and skills. But he knew that he was just a little bee, and there was no way he could perform in the circus. As the show went on, Buzzy started to get a little restless. He had always been a busy bee, and sitting in one place for too long made him feel antsy. So, he decided to go out and explore the circus grounds a bit. He flew down from the top of the tent and buzzed around the circus, checking out all of the sights and sounds. He saw clowns juggling and making balloon animals, and he saw a group of elephants performing tricks. There was so much to see and do, and Buzzy had a great time buzzing from one place to another. As the sun began to set, Buzzy realized that it was almost time for the circus to end. He flew back up to the top of the tent and took his seat on the beam, just in time to see the grand finale. It was a group of trapeze artists who swung and somersaulted through the air with grace and agility. Buzzy was in awe as he watched the performance. He had never seen anything like it before, and he couldn't believe how skilled and brave the performers were. As the show came to an end, he knew that he would always remember his trip to the circus. As the crowd began to file out of the tent, Buzzy flew back down to the ground. He was exhausted from all of the excitement, but he was also happy and satisfied. He had had a great time at the circus, and he couldn't wait to come back and see another show. As he flew back home, he knew that he would always be a fan of the circus and all of its wonders.